Donald Trump recently has rolled out a bunch of new grifts. He's got his crypto and his ugly golden sneakers, and he's literally selling Bibles. And so you'd be right to imagine that he's all of a sudden flush with a little bit of money. And you'd think that now that he has actual funds, he can afford to pay his bills. Well, I've got news for you. He is going to be paying some of his bills, but not because he's suddenly feeling either generous or responsible. It's because people have wised up to how often he rips people off, and they're forcing him to pay before they'll let him use, in this case, like event space and those sorts of things.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
And so he had to front $145,000 to secure a rally space in Arizona amid reports he left an unpaid bill at the same venue back in 2016. So $145,000 to the Tucson Convention Center. The city of Tucson asked for the deposit because the former president failed to pay a bill of $81,837 after a campaign event at the convention center in 2016. Now, $81,000 is a lot of money to you or I. For him, like, that's absolutely nothing. To not pay that is just intentionally effing people over after they helped you out and gave you a space and let you do your rally or whatever. But he did this all over the place. I used to have Dave Leventhal on the show, and we would do, like, every month we do an update on the number of different either event spaces or police departments that he was screwing over. And it is a long list, and he's burned those people, and now they've wised up. There was a recent investigation by Newsweek that revealed that several cities are still waiting for Trump's campaign team to pay them over $700,000 for expenses related to rallies that took place between 2016 and 2019. And these are not just like I guess they'd be green in policy, but blue cities, like Democrat-run cities that he's trying to screw over. You have El Paso, Spokane, that's a conservative area, Mesa, Arizona, Green Bay, Wisconsin, all of haven't been paid. El Paso says it's owed more than $500,000. That is a lot of money spent for years. So theoretically, he's earning interest on this. It's even worse than it seems. And so there is often, and this is the most amazing thing to take away from this story, there's often no legal requirement for campaigns to pay these bills. Why was it ever a thing where they don't have to pay in advance? Every one of these political events is, by definition, a politician's thing. Why are you trusting them to the tune of $500,000 to $700,000? That is a terrible decision to make. And again, if you're a conservative watching this and maybe you've managed to convince yourself, well, it's okay, he's screwing over the cities, maybe it's the Democrats, who cares? A lot of the time, this isn't just for like a stadium. This is for overtime for police officers to provide protection, which Donald Trump now has made a big deal out of wanting as much protection as possible. And yet, for the better part of a decade, he has been screwing over police departments all across the country because they've provided the extra protection. Those officers have done overtime, and then he's stiffed them when the bill comes due. Totally screwed up. Really weird that that hasn't bothered conservatives up until this point, but at least cities are starting to wise up. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.